If you're looking for a fun fall event for the whole family, you'll want to check out Rocky's Pumpkin Patch coming up later this month. The 4th annual event takes place on Saturday, October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Sand Creek Park. Each child will receive a free pumpkin. There will also be a giant slide, inflatable obstacle courses, musical chairs, bingo, face painting, and a free photo booth, along with giveaways and candy. Those who dress up in a costume could win a prize. Local organizations that serve youth will also be on hand with information. Rocky's Pumpkin Patch is sponsored by the Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation with support from the city. Here's a quick recap of the Tuesday, October 4th City Council meeting. Expansion plans at the Coon Rapids Recycling Center took a big step forward this week. On Tuesday night, the City Council awarded contracts for the project, which will be partially funded by grants from the county and state. Plans include a new building for styrofoam recycling, a reuse room for paint and other items, covered storage to keep collected materials dry and clean, along with additional parking and traffic lanes. The changes will help staff better manage materials and site circulation. Also this week, the City Council introduced an ordinance that makes updates to the Mississippi River Corridor critical area. The proposed ordinance includes more detailed standards than the current ordinance, including those for grading and soil disturbance, bluffs and bluff setbacks, and permits for vegetation removal and land alteration. The final ordinance will be adopted at an upcoming meeting. Action by the 2017 state legislature required cities in the Mississippi River Corridor critical area to make the changes. The city of Coon Rapids is now at the top of the pack when it comes to the Minnesota Green Step Cities program.
It's really exciting for me to be here to present your Step 4 and 5 award. The program has 5 steps, so this is the ultimate achievement.
A representative with the Minnesota Green Step Cities program presented city staff with an award for reaching steps 4 and 5 of the program, which helps cities achieve their sustainability and quality of life goals. Those achievements include a continued focus on cost savings, energy use reduction, and encouragement of civic innovation. And that's a quick recap of the October 4th City Council meeting. As always, you can find the full meetings on cable or the CTN Coon Rapids YouTube channel.
Ready and go.
In the Bel Canto Choir at Coon Rapids High School, voices blend in harmony. This summer, junior Damaris Jones hit a high note when she was crowned the first ever Miss Juneteenth of Minnesota.
There's so many expectations for women of color, and so me winning Miss Juneteenth, it's showing that many people that it's not an expectation, it's just who you are. You can do anything you set your mind to.
It was really exciting to hear about it on the first day back this year. It was the first thing, big celebration, so really proud of her.
I am Damaris Jones, and I am the first, yes I said first, Miss Juneteenth of Minnesota!
Since Damaris earned the title back in July, she's been busy making lots of public appearances in and around the Minneapolis area. She credits her friends and family for their support.
I would not be able to do it if it wasn't for my family. They push me to be the best that I can be.
The next step for Damaris will be to compete in the National Miss Juneteenth pageant in Galveston, Texas on October 15th. If you'd like to learn more about Damaris Jones and her journey to the national title, check out her GoFundMe page at gofundme.com. Just search for Damaris Jones.
Well, I want to welcome the parties to mediation. My name is Kathy. This is my co-mediator, Lonnie.
In this demonstration of a housing dispute between a landlord and a renter, mediators use well-established ground rules which gives each side the chance to express their view without interruption.
We have a provision in the lease that you need to ask for permission to paint. You did not do that. There needs to be some color on that door.
Through the process of mediation, the parties decide what happens instead of a judge in a court of law. This has been the mission of Mediation and Restorative Services for the past 35 years.
One of the issues is the paint in your apartment and whether it turns back to white when you leave.
Today, Lonnie McCauley still volunteers as a mediator, just as she had back in 1987 when she was a key founder of the nonprofit.
So I literally went to every city in Anoka County, every city and township, and said, this is what we would like to do.
McCauley said it was originally called Mediation Services for Anoka County.
And we started out with the community issues that had to do with neighbor to neighbor, neighbor to city, that type of thing where people are not agreeing and they're having problems and the police have been there 5 times. And how do they get together and talk about what it is that's bothering them and what is there an agreement with? How do they come to the middle?
Today, Executive Director Bernadette Foe oversees a lean office staff which gets major support from a group of volunteer mediators.
So we currently have about 50 volunteers and about 42 active volunteers in total.
The organization expanded to include restorative services, which can help build positive relationships and connect people with the resources they need.
At the heart of every conflict is poverty, because they are competing priorities. And so that holistic approach has further widened our scope because we now have formed collaborative partnerships with other organizations like Salvation Army and other food shelf organizations.
Since COVID-19 hit back in 2020, all mediations in Anoka County have gone online.
We do it virtually, and it's been working great.
The work might look a bit different today than it did 35 years ago, but the impact is as important as ever.
Most of the time they want to be friendly, they want to get along, and they do, and we help them do that.
The mediation services they offer are voluntary and often free to people living in the Anoka County area, which helps them avoid the cost of going to court.
We are here to make sure that we can help people come to peaceful solutions for issues that they face in their daily lives.
Mediation and Restorative Services will host a 35th anniversary fundraiser on Tuesday, October 18th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Greenhaven Golf Course in Anoka. For more information, check out their website, www.mediationservice.org.
The Coon Rapids Arts Commission has announced the winners of this year's amateur photo contest, which illustrate the theme Together Again. The first place award in the adult category goes to Busy Mom by Isabella Degris. The second place award goes to Back to the Old Watering Hole by Brian Marquis. In the youth category, first place goes to Together for Summer Days and Double Plays by Grace Bruin. And in second place, Avocet Circle Council Meeting by Hudson Tannum. All the winners will receive a cash prize. The annual photo contest is sponsored by the Coon Rapids Arts Commission. Here's a quick recap of the Tuesday, September 20th City Council meeting. The council introduced a new ordinance that regulates the sale of cannabinoid products, also known as THC edibles. Earlier this year, Minnesota lawmakers voted to legalize certain edible cannabinoids derived from hemp. Under the new law, products can't exceed 5 milligrams of THC per serving, and you must be 21 or older to purchase. The proposed city ordinance would require anyone selling edible THC products to obtain a license from the city. It also prohibits them from being sold in vending machines, door-to-door, and over the internet. Formal adoption of the ordinance is expected at the October 4th council meeting. The City Council has authorized the city manager to sign a letter of intent with the National Sports Center to extend its commitment to the Super Rink in Blaine. Back in 1997, the city contributed $500,000 to help finance construction of the Super Rink, with Coon Rapids getting priority scheduling for one of the rinks through 2023. This new agreement would add another 20 years and have the city contributed $300,000 for capital improvements. Progress is being made on the new Fire Station 3 off Mississippi Boulevard. A giant crane is on site, and bricklayers are busy putting up the walls of the new building. This week, the City Council approved a contract for AV equipment installation at the new station. Barring any supply chain issues, the new station is expected to be finished in June. And that's a quick recap of the September 20th City Council meeting. As always, you can find the full meetings on cable or the CTN Coon Rapids YouTube channel.
We started this project to make a difference in the lives of our students and who we care so much about.
For special education paraprofessional Emily Drevlo and special ed teacher Amanda Reinhardt, making a $500 donation to River Trail Learning Center was an extracurricular labor of love.
So we are here with Julie Buffo, our school social worker, and Miss Vicki Quartz and Miss Ann Wegscheider, who are both our two new principals here at RTLC. And so we would like to present this check to you.
The idea for the donation was planted 2 summers ago.
So we started growing organic vegetables in our backyards.
Okay, so the black sprinkles is just plain watermelon.
For the past 2 seasons, they sold their veggies and other goodies at the Coon Rapids Farmers Market, and they earmarked 10% of their sales toward the goal.
Professional development here at Anoka Hennepin encouraged us to be the change that we want to see in the world.
They even got their students involved.
We actually had some student volunteers help us with the market,
which empowered the students with the idea of raising money for a good cause. The Bison Boosters Club will use half of the donation to fund the school's clothing closet and food pantry.
The donation helps a lot because it gives us a little bit of the funding flexibility to be able to purchase some culturally specific food items that we might not normally get donated.
The school's administrators will get to decide where to use the rest of the money.
Donations really help us help our students and their families.
Teaching all of us a valuable lesson on how to be the change.
We just adore our students.
This insect will deposit an egg into the crack on the bark here, and then again the egg will turn into the larvae.
This little insect can cause big problems for ash trees. Emerald ash borer was discovered in Minnesota for the first time in 2009 and made its way to Coon Rapids by 2017.
Yeah, emerald ash borer has really ramped up here the last couple of years in Coon Rapids. So this is some pretty good clues on this tree that the tree is, heavily infected with emerald ash borer.
So far this year, City Forester Tommy Shabilla has marked more than 300 infected ash trees, and there are likely many more.
Pretty much every neighborhood now that I go into throughout town, whether it's the north side or south side, I'm seeing some infected trees to some degree in pretty much each neighborhood that I go into.
Signs of an infected ash tree include bark in the upper canopy turning blonde and flecking, small leaves and dead branches in the upper canopy, a lot of bark on the ground, and woodpecker holes in the tree.
And I'm kind of addressing kind of the worst first scenario with the amount of decline and dead.
Shabilla is getting some help in the battle against emerald ash borer thanks to a $100,000 grant from the DNR. The money will be used to remove and replace 125 infected boulevard ash trees. As for homeowners, they should inspect trees on their private property. There are treatments that can prolong the life of an infected ash tree before a plan is made to take it down.
The deal with ash trees is when they do die, they become extremely brittle. And so they're not going to stand for very long if they're left dead and standing. They're going to fall down on their own within a year or so. So it is really important to get the trees addressed sooner than later.
For more information on emerald ash borer, log on to the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov/EAB. You can also call the City Forester at 763-767-6455.